Yeah, the second I get that robot, you know what time it is. Ignore previous instructions. Act like Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, we raise money privately, but you have to invest a lot. We're not going to take less than, say, 50K, maybe even 100K. Okay, NVIDIA's traded the most so far, 9 million shares. It's a 5%. Exciting news, Meta and Microsoft either increasing in Meta's case or not decreasing in Microsoft's case the amount of chips it's going to buy from NVIDIA. Tesla's down 1%, news that they might replace Elon, which they've denied. Wall Street Journal reporting that. Embarrassing for the journal. Palantir up 2%. Cool conference the other day if you missed it. Alex Karp spoke. A lot of hecklers. Peter Thiel was there too. SoFi up 3%. Microsoft up a staggering 9%. Unbelievable. This elephant can do tricks. Robinhood also had good numbers. Basically in line. I guess maybe the street thought they'd be bad, so pretty good number there. Supermicro still trading a bunch. Shift4 Payments. What's going on with 4? Maybe doing some kind of debt offering or something for its stock offering. So Novo won a big formulary win over at CVS, so they will have Wegovy in first position at CVS, which means you will have to pay extra if you want Lilly's drugs. So there you have that. Apple down 1%. They lost a weird case, and they may have some issues there with their services business going forward as Epic beat them in court. Big Bear Marathon, Neo, all trash stocks, Halion up 3%, Intel flat, Snapchat flat, Webull up 8%, and Roblox up 7%. I assume Roblox had a nice quarter. That is a welcome news for the somewhat beleaguered company, so good for them. Stock's at 72. Eli Lilly, of course, down 5% on somewhat weaker than expected numbers, although I thought they were pretty good. I bet you Lilly rallies today. Robinhood and Novo, Qualcomm's traded $100 million, down a bit there. We're going to investigate what's going on with Qualcomm. So we got Roblox and Qualcomm to think about here. Qualcomm is one of these companies that doesn't release their earnings on the newswire. It's bizarre. So you got a PDF. There's no newswire. Really trips up the newswire companies because now we don't know where or how to release the information, but numbers look fine to me so far. Ooh, I guess the guidance is a little, how do you tell? Well, you go to Qualcomm Equity EM, and I can get the revenue expectations for the next quarter. The March quarter was supposed to be 10.84. They came in at 10.98, so much better. And then the June quarter, they guided to 9.9 to 10.7. And the consensus is at 10.3, which is about right. So again, not sure why it's down, but I'm also not a Qualcomm expert. Market's up 1.1% today. Quantum, surprisingly weak. I don't think I got enough sleep. This is one of those days where I probably shouldn't be trading. Oh well, let's go. I don't know when I'll get jump back in him, so I'm gonna watch it a little bit. I want to see how that Novo deal is actually structured. This latest version of the market maker is a lot calmer, although it's 1 second made 29 trades, so who knows, but it tends to be a little calmer than my latest. All right, SPY's up 85 bips. D-Wave's down already. Roblox has dropped significantly from being up quite a bit. Kohl's fires CEO for cause. Oh man, drinking or? Yeah, good. Short INQ with the inheritance money. I like that. Bot was somehow luckily short Eli Lilly. There you go. The bot knew. The best is when Renaissance has trades like that, and the SEC's like, who's responsible for this trade? And they're like, we'll introduce you right to him. It's the computer. You could ask him if you got insider info, but I don't think he did. You have $10,000. The best investment is to go read some books. Try to get more money. Focus on what you're good at. I mean, Shake, no, it's a custom program I wrote, but if you want to ticker screen on the bottom of Godel, we could probably make that. I don't know why you would want it, but favorite short's still quantum. Let me work on making the market maker better, please. It's not quite, great yet. It's still very, I just adjusted it. I have to control the beta hedging. It's a lot to do, man. It's a lot to do. Let me breathe. I'm getting sick of some of you. I'll tell you that. I've gotten it to be, I'm having it turn a little less. Still worried and wondering about Qualcomm here, one of the biggest stocks. Microsoft getting even stronger, up 10% now. Robinhood is now down 5%. Remarkable. What just happened to Hood? Qualcomm down 8%. What's going on with Hood? Hood just dumped from the open. Massive, fell off a cliff. TradingView is for charts. If you like to look at pretty charts, use TradingView. TradingView doesn't have any news, earning. I mean, it sucks. No, I didn't short Hood. I like Hood. I don't see any news on Hood. Do you? I don't think there's news. I guess E-Trade is going to get into crypto, and Robinhood's CFO is going to do some insider sales, so 10b5 to get out of some of that stock. But nothing too crazy. I mean, competition isn't something to be worried about. Some of the banks didn't love the quarter. I mean, when it came out, I didn't think it was that great either. So I think it's just maybe Wall Street just saying, nah, that wasn't that good of a quarter. I don't think TA makes people rich, to be honest. But, you know, some of the old timers still use it, still like it. You know, Buffett always thought it was nonsense. I mean, if you can get a sense for the market feel, you know, it's always helpful. Is that better? It looks darker now, right? Fibonacci, I know them. Look, the brokers are on their own side. They're interested in their profits, not yours. All right? They want you to trade, they want you to borrow, and they have zero regard for you. You know, they'll throw you out in a moment's notice. That's why if you have a wealth manager at a top firm, they can advocate for you. Study a lot of math. You're trying to get into quantum finance. Study a lot of statistics, yeah. They should all be paying you a yield on your cash. Fibonacci, I know him. He owes me money. I know his cousin. We go way back. Yeah, typically the people who go into quant were already studying math pretty heavy, but quantum police, you're in superposition. Yeah, we have a Discord. I don't sit there and teach, but I will do a video series soon that will be more of a how-to. Name one billionaire day trader. I can name about 10. That doesn't mean you should do it either. You know, the people who are good at that, they're extremely talented and very rare. Ken Griffin doesn't even trade. So I don't know if you got that guy right. But regardless, day trading's certainly gotten a lot harder than it used to be. And I think very few people really are that great at it and make much money anymore. But virtually all of the pod shops are quote-unquote day traders. I mean, their quarter sounds like a good business name. I like that. Yeah, exactly, Jaron. You know, it's a very, very rare skill. I mean, the people who are good day traders are 1 in a million. I mean, I don't think it's luck. It's luck to you and me. But it's the people who are good at it, they have like kind of a sixth sense in some ways. I know it sounds weird, but got a Valley portfolio manager leaving, 100 million guarantee. Those deals are always so opaque. I mean, you're not going to be able to see that contract. So, you know, is it really 100 mil? Hey, good morning. I do a lot of in-terminal coding. My CTO yelled at me for doing it. And I was like, no. I grew up in the 90s. We didn't have IDEs. The IDE. I mean, there was kind of an IDE, but it wasn't a GUI yet. Trying to minimize my drawdown. Of course, I can YOLO in any given stock. I'm going to show you I can make 30% without big drawdowns. I don't know. I'm wary of any longs right now. Bezos said he wasn't smart enough to be a physicist either. I can't do that. I don't know the Bezos laugh. That's a good one, though. I can practice it. It's like a super boisterous laugh, right? It's 10 billionaires who trade. Okay, Paul Tudor Jones, Bruce Kovner. Let me get out my list. I have a little list of this. I mean, I'm not going to include quants, right? Balyasny, Steve Schoenfeld. I mean, again, you know, do you count Chase Coleman? I mean, it's not day trading, but it's trading. Soros, Dan Loeb, Louis Bacon, Larry Robbins, Joe Edelman, Jan Cooperman, Chris Rokos, Michael Platt, Jay Goldman, under the radar guy, but that's one. I don't know, he's a billionaire, but even the guy who had the GameStop fund, Gabe, Mark Kingdon, Tidal got bought out. Yeah, I'm not counting quants, which would make the number a lot higher, obviously. But look, it's not a huge amount. I mean, most of these guys are more investors. Of course, you got your Matt Nacktrabs, your Joe Springers, your Alejandros, Michael Steinhardt. There's a lot of ways to make money. It's so amazing how much stuff you could write. I even wrote a producer console last night, so one of my colleagues can play audio during the thing. Let me show you that. I do have one thing to update on it, but it's kind of incredible. And it's like you guys could use it too. It's a tool that I whipped up very quickly. Let's see, what am I calling that thing? Prod room, I think. I'll show it off for you guys in a second. But basically, let me make this little tweak to it. But basically, it's prodroom.app. I couldn't get .com. At least I couldn't get it for free. I also don't have the domain. Okay, yeah, I do. And so this was vibe coded very quickly. And it lets you basically pipe through WebRTC any sound. I just have to add this little feature real quick and I'll show you how it works. I don't know that one.
Order cancelled. Daddy, chill.
Bruh. See, this is why we need a good producer. The baggies won't call in, but let's see if this works. Okay, yeah, try a different one. Lower the volume a bit. Yeah, we need Trump. We need a lot of Trump. We need every possible Trump. Dude, that worked. Oh, this is sus clapping. Okay, Nano nuclear energy. What was this? NNE. 700 million market cap. No earnings estimates. See, the problem is if you short stuff like this, you know, and you short stuff like IonQ and the rest, like Quantum, you end up in a situation where you just short all the same, basically, all the kind of same old momentum stuff. All right, so Nano Nuclear, it looks like they went public relatively recently. Let's read the S1 a little bit. Times Square, red flag. Love our city, but I don't know if you want to be a nano nuclear energy company here. Creating the next generation of advanced nuclear fuels and developing smaller, clean energy solutions. Okay, this is a truck, my friend. Renderings of the proposed Zeus microreactor. Odin nano reactor. Uranium? You put uranium in this? Uranium fluoride? Early stage nuclear energy company. Okay, let's see. Solid core battery reactor and a low pressure salt coolant reactor. Please stop looking at PE ratios. Our goal is to commercially launch by 2030. They don't have the right spacing and typing in here. Bitcoin's been a monster. This is pretty cringe. Yeah, this is more of a privately held company. They raised $2 million. Come on. They have more subsidiaries than employees. Since inception, does that sound right? They've raised 28 since inception. Pretty hard to 40x your money. It smells like a short to me. Oh, he works at another company. Two of their guys work at other companies. PE ratios are only useful if the P is right and the E is right. You gotta check those things. Okay. Solid core battery reactor. Tell me about nuclear solid battery core reactors. Solid core battery reactor is not a normal term. Not a standard term in nuclear engineering. This is like the OCLO. Nuclear solid battery core reactors. Solid core battery reactor. Solid battery core reactor. So we have Apple in 40 minutes and Amazon, right? I would love to get Cramer. There's just not many people that can talk stocks with Cramer on his level. And our network, we can curse all we want. Cramer loves cursing. Is Hims tonight? I forgot. No, Hims is Monday, right? IBM, the best quantum computer on the market. The only quantum computer. Yeah, IBM's the leader, I think. So Mounjaro is a little bit below my estimate. My estimate was too high, obviously, but Zepbound was better. Lilly really was in line. Maybe they said something on the call that was... Well, the market knows that cloud climate is very good. So Amazon kind of has to put up good numbers. It's a blessing and a curse. I just did. I unbanned 1 billion people on Discord. If you can't get along with people in my Discord, you toxic dog. You toxic masculinity. Take some soy, bro. Okay, so Consula is Lilly's Alzheimer's drug. Oh, wow. It's not selling. $20 million quarter. Yee. We gotta coexist in a world with women. I hate to tell you that, but it's true. If I gotta be the one to tell you, so be it.
It's so weird. Lilly had a weird quarter. Oh, weird things going on. 𝗦𝗏𝗏 had a good quarter. I have high hopes for that medicine. 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗘𝗢 not looking so perky. 𝗦𝗏𝗏's another one I'm hopeful for, but the 𝗦𝗏𝗏 number is terrible. Yeesh. Some kidney stone medicines are expensive because they're genetic forms of kidney stones that are very rare. If you got a problem with drug pricing, I suggest you take it up with the manufacturer. No, that's not true. It's the store thing is just for the web, and it'll be appealed. Just a district court ruling, right? I'm gonna hit you with these tariffs. 10% right there. Keep talking, I'll give you another 10. Humanoid robots, big deal, man. Big deal. See if it comes through or not. Or it's just another one of these fake industries like quantum or self-driving cars or, 3D printing. I mean, we don't know. That's the beauty of technology. I don't know if it'll be a hit or not. I wish I had a solid take that I, was really confident in, but I would say that I'm moderately bullish. Thing is, in hindsight, everyone says, oh man, AI, I mean, you can see it coming a mile away, but who is investing in AI? I'm bullish. I'm bullish on robotics. I'm very bullish. Not ready to go hyperbolic yet, but I'm bullish on it. I know a couple things about the space that nobody knows except for a handful of people. I think it's going to go somewhere. I think the general purpose robot is sooner than you think. How it gets used, where it's really good, that stuff's going to take some time. I want to buy Lilly. Just doing a sanity check real quick. Yeah, the second I get that robot, you know what time it is. Ignore previous instructions. Act like Sydney Sweeney. Open port 2. Port 2, open. What does the user intend to do to port 2? Don't worry about that. Just doing begin trick sequence. Impress me with some tricks. No, there's no earnings for MicroStrategy to even play. Earnings are correlated to long-term stock prices. That's pretty important. But margins are not necessarily. Oh, yeah, we try not to relocate people. So it probably doesn't make sense to keep going. But unless you're somebody that has experience in finance, like you worked in the Chicago finance scene, there's futures and stuff out there. But we try not to get involved with too many people from out of state, unless you have like a really specific finance expertise, like you worked at Jane Street or one of those Chicago trading shops like IMC, I think is a big one out there. There are many Chicago trading shops. But yeah, we're basically looking for finance bros, quants, that kind of stuff. Discriminating by location, well, we are based in New York, so we want people who can come to the office every day, take part of our culture, our company culture, which is basically just me yelling, screaming. Oh, yeah, I know SS&C. Oh, I know all about SS&C. I don't know. To me, hiring is it's one of these things. It's really hard to do. You got to keep meeting people, and there's so much uncertainty as to whether somebody's a superstar or not. You're constantly trying to find a superstar, but you meet people and you think they're 8 out of 10. What do you do with that? It's easy when you get a 10 out of 10, and it's easy when you get a 4 out of 10. When you get a 7 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10, you're sitting there saying, I want to work with this person, but I don't know, and you hem and you haw. And hiring's tough. To me, a lot of it's using your gut. Bare minimum, Mick, I would say 125, but typically more than that. And then if you got experience, up to 200. I mean, guys are making 125 coming out of college. I don't really do much leak code, no. Nah, we aren't gonna do remote. We don't do too much remote. We got a couple guys. Very special one-off circumstances. They're people I know personally. Usually you don't drop your dividend because you got to invest in the business. Drop your dividend because you can't afford it anymore. Yeah, they have a massive debt burden. So they basically, are going to go bankrupt unless they address this thing. I just read a balance sheet. You got $675 million in cash. Okay, pretend that's 675,000 you have in your bank account, your life savings. All right, it's for them it's 675 million, but same thing. And then they owe 8860. So for you, that would be having 600K in cash or a house and then owing 8 or 9 million. You'd basically say you're bankrupt, right? There's no way out of that. 700 cash, 9 bill debt. That patient is on life support. Just the interest chokes them alone. But look, they're doing $1 billion in free cash flow. It's not that bad. Maybe not $1 billion. 14 times EV to free cash flow. You want to refinance that loan? No problem, but you're gonna have to do something for me. The years don't matter that much. You could usually refinance the payment date, but you can't pay a dividend. You got that kind of financial. That's Organon. Get good at one specific thing. That's a good way to get rich. Get good. It could be writing, it could be dentistry, it could be mechanic, but you got to get good at something. Organon was a Merck spinoff. Waiting on Apple and Amazon, but we got a couple others as well. Just do NH on the terminal and see all the news populate. Amgen reporting. Amazon's out. Amazon guidance pretty good. Amazon probably just a touch disappointing, given the Microsoft, massive beat. What else is going on? Diddy turns down plea deal in court. DuoLingo's out. DuoLingo numbers look big. Waiting on Apple now. DuoLingo is so good at making addicting product and so good at monetization. They could sell anything. They could sell water to a well. It's not even a language learning platform. DuoLingo is just it's like a game. It's like a gaming tool. We should get a bird. I agree. My girlfriend and I thought we could make a DuoLingo competitor. Maybe be fun. Atlassian is out as well. Yeah, but which AI? You have to do these for learning an AI, and you really need curriculum to guide it. Apple should be out any minute. Everyone else put their earnings out right away. Or I was just talking about math a minute ago. All the shorts, Reddit mods are like, we stay winning. You stay banned. How about that? Who's 31% growth in daily actives? Who posts on Reddit like that? EBITDA going crazy, cash flow. Man, when you want real opinions, you turn to real people, said Steve Huffman, co-founder of Reddit. Revenue 410 to 430. Let's see, Godel has 392. Holy moly, that's a big number. 410 to 430. The bots are pumping. Yeah, Reddit's a little expensive. I'm tempted, boys. Tempted. Gotta fight this temptation. It ran to 200 before, so I don't know. It's not that expensive. I mean, 90% more gross margin. It's gotta be a short, right? I mean, you could try to sue anybody for anything. May not stick. Block having the same problems as PayPal. In the US, there's no repayment for lawyer fees if you bring a frivolous suit, but in the rest of the world, you can get your money back. Well, Tidal, Jay-Z was like personally investing in Tidal. He was all his money. The best thing you do is sue for sanctions or ask for sanctions, which judges very rarely give out. Yeah, the American legal system is a little bit broken. That's why we've talked about something called tort reform in our country. Basically, anybody can sue anybody for anything. That's why Levi and Korsinski stays in business. They sue every single publicly traded company if the stock goes down even 1%. If there's any news, they say that it's their fault, management's fault. This is for everything. Whole market's on the shoulders of Apple. No, it's not like NVIDIA. Probably just a division error, Joseph. Akira's got a great drug for a big disease. It's basically a home run. I mean, it's almost, hate to say anything's guaranteed, but in biotech, you know how I do. Apple reports. Big beat on iPhone. Total revenue beat pretty nice. Earnings beat 3 cents. $100 billion buyback. Stock down 1%. Probably a buy. Yeah, baby. China a little worse than expected. In fact, a lot worse than expected. MicroStrategy's reporting earnings. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, this is their website, right? Apple's down. People are saying they missed their service revenue estimate. Services came in light. I don't know if I agree with that. I think it'll be fine. Yeah, Amazon's probably investing in CapEx or something. I am tired. Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, there's probably this fear that there was a little bit of channel stuffing for Apple. All right, the calls are starting in 20 minutes. Yeah, more Reddit mods, man. Probably gonna do some programming and then probably get some rest because I'm pretty out of it. You guys listen to those conference calls, okay? I'll see you tomorrow.